Raiders fall to the Colts 44-27 at home. Welcome into Raiders Game Day, presented by America First Credit Union. My name is Erin Coscarelli, alongside my guys, Marcel, Reece, Eric, Allen. Guys, big news of the night, which we will get to a little later in the show. The Raiders relieving Paul Gunther of his duties as defensive coordinator. But first, before we get into that, your quick takeaway from tonight's game.
Just tough. I don't know about you, EA, but it was just hard to see a group of young guys who really work hard just fall short of their goal tonight in getting a W.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's very disappointing, disheartening. This football team had everything to play for, and just coach just kind of had too much offensive power today for our Raiders.
Yeah, well, we'll talk all about what happened on both sides of the ball. A lot to get to on the show tonight. Here is what's on tap for you folks at home. Highlights, of course, from Raiders matchup against the Colts, first of three at home. And the Raiders move on from third-year DC Paul Gunther. We will discuss in more detail later in the show. And that goes to the post, a throwback to one of the most memorable matchups between the Colts and the Raiders. And of course, we're previewing next week's opponent. It is a short one, Thursday night football against the Chargers. But of course, this week, the Raiders back at Allegiant after a two-game East Coast swing. And select members of Southern Nevada law enforcement lit the Al Davis Memorial Torch inside. Oh, it's cool when you get to see that. Three key players back for the Raiders: Jacobs, Trent Brown, and Jonathan Abram. And a quick one, Phillip Rivers finding T.Y. Hilton. Colts first on the board, gentlemen, but not too fast. Derek Carr with the touchdown pass to his tight end, Foster Moreau. Marcel.
Check out the sweet feet from Foster Moreau. First of all, when you look at the replay here, you got Darren Waller on the outside, who's always been a threat all year long, and DC loves going at him. Derek Carr does a great job looking off the safety, and Foster Moreau executes this route perfectly, widening out the defender, stays away from the safety, and stays as close to the numbers as possible so he can get the breakaway.
Yeah,
for
execution, outstanding
by
all parties. The
Outstanding.
throw, the route, love the route, the look off to the safety. Great job there.
There's another angle. This tight end room is dynamic.
Look where that ball is.
You got a lot of concentration, because that's your blocking tight end, EA.
That's right.
Out here making huge plays in the passing game.
Making plays. When it's not Darren Waller, it's Foster Moreau. Second quarter we go. Derek Tonelli for 36 yards. Not too bad. 3 plays later, he finds 20-yard touchdown strike. Right here, you're going to see it. Boom! Mr. Reliable.
Phenomenal throw by Derek Carr in the red zone. Get it up, get it down, EA. Face mask or higher, puts it right on Nelly's face mask with an easy catch. Touchdown.
Great job by being on that hash mark and then bending it in at the right time. That ball is right there on the money. The timing of the route running. Nelly has been a great find for our Raiders.
We're going to talk more about Nelly a little later in the show, but Mr. Rivers with another one to T.Y. And the Raiders down by 3. Didn't seem like the Raiders defense had answers for number 13. And number 83 coming up big. No matter what situation, you can always rely on him, Marcel.
Every single week, no matter who's guarding, no matter what the defensive coordinator dials up, Darren Waller always finds his way to the ball.
And that was courtesy of Kenny Moore, the one-handed grab in the end zone. Looked like it just belonged in Darren Waller's hands, but
oh my goodness.
Kenny Moore, EA, what
that
impressive grab.
Yeah, that was impressive. That's going to be all over television for the next week or so.
Third quarter we go, and wideout Zay Jones showing off his arm. Nelly again with the trickeration.
How about the throw, though, EA?
Yeah.
You don't expect that out of a receiver on the run.
Right.
A little bit
outside the pocket.
A little pressure.
And Nelly trying to make sure he gets some yards after the catch.
Trying to make it happen.
Didn't get a touchdown, led to a field goal. Raiders down by 3, and Jonathan Taylor taking it to the house. No one can catch number 28. A big day out of the rookie. And a big day for the Colts. 44-27, Phillip Rivers. Solid game by him, solid game by his wideout. 2 touchdowns on the day. How does Coach feel about this game? Well, you know we're going to hear from Coach Gruden and get the guys' thoughts after the break. Stick around, we'll be right back.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wasn't good enough today. Defensively, we had no answer. You can't give up that many yards rushing and not get to the quarterback and then lose the turnover margin and expect to win in this league. Yeah, I thought Trent was a difference maker. He played great. I thought the pocket was clean. I thought we did a good job moving the ball. I don't know how many times we punted. I know it got a little helter-skelter at the end. We turned the ball over and couple red zone plays. They made a great play down there. Number 23, I can't tell you how impressive that was, but it's good to have Trent back. Josh is a difference maker for us, running and receiving, and I think he's getting close to being the Jacobs that we all know. But Abram, you know, he has some flashes. He also has some plays that he's got to clean up, obviously. This is a top 5 defense, you know. I really like what we did offensively. I thought we moved the ball. I think the turnover in the first half, the kid made a great play. You know, they're a good defense. You can ask DeForest Buckner and Autry and the guys, Leonard and players that they have. We had some good runs. We just couldn't stay with it. You know, we were in a situation where we had to score a touchdown every time we had the ball, it seemed, and it's hard to establish a run in those circumstances. We got a short week. We gotta find some players that are healthy. We got to make some real improvements, and we got to get ready for the Chargers. We can't worry about the playoffs and who's winning and losing around the league. We got to take care of our business. I don't want to hear any more playoff questions. We got to take care of our business. Try to find a way to win our 8th football game.
Interesting. Coach didn't want to talk about the playoffs. Short week.
No.
Maybe just wants to focus on cleaning up what happened against the Colts ahead of taking on the Chargers on Thursday Night Football. EA, what was your reaction to what Gruden said?
Well, again, guys, that's the message, you know, to answer the question, but that's a message to the football team. You know, don't worry about the playoffs. Let's worry at the task at hand. That's the San Diego Chargers. Make sure you correct those mistakes in the film review and get on and worry about the Chargers.
Do I get a $1 for every time you say San Diego and not LA?
Oh.
No, but let me ask you this, though. Can I give you a follow-up? Because
Yep.
you said that was maybe a message to the team. Do you think, because it is a younger team, that the focus has been maybe the playoffs?
Well, yeah, in certain situations, because that's what you're being asked all the time, and that's kind of where you see yourself. But you have to play like you're a playoff caliber football team, and right now we just don't see that consistently, particularly on the defense side of the ball.
Interesting. Okay, Marcel, what'd you take from what Coach said? Or
Well, the first thing he said is great to have Trent back. He's an absolute difference maker. He's the biggest man in any room he walks into, and he just imposes his will on everyone, run game, pass game alike. He brings a sense of security to Derek Carr and also Josh Jacobs. But to what Coach is saying, he's right. You can't worry about who's winning, who's losing around the league. The only thing you can worry about is the Las Vegas Raiders. The one great thing about having this game and the way it played out and the things about Gunther is it's a short week. You can't dwell on it. You can't think about it. The only thing you can think about is preparing for LA.
I'm getting $2
Preparing
now.
for the Chargers and beating them. It doesn't matter. San Diego, LA, they're the Chargers. We don't like them. Beat up on them. That's all it comes down to.
Well, we'll talk more, of course, about the matchup against the Chargers and also the challenges. There's a lot of injuries, and he, in his press conference, he didn't want to make any excuses, but lost a couple of guys in the secondary. Jeff Heath now on IR, didn't have Damon Arnett heading into it. And when you're going up against Phillip Rivers and a guy that likes to sling it, turf toe aside, you guys have to, obviously worry about what T.Y. Hilton can do and what obviously Jonathan Taylor was able to do. We'll talk about the defense. Of course, the big news, the Raiders releasing Paul Gunther of his duties of defensive coordinator. All of that on the other side of the break. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Presented by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Obviously, we didn't do a good job of being in our gaps. playing together as a unit, and obviously they took care and did what they needed to do to get the win. So we got to take pride in stopping the run and just move on to the next game. We got 3 games left. We got a chance to win all 3 and see what happens at the end. But yeah, we can't just let one game deter us from not going out there to perform well. It's a new day tomorrow. We get ready to get better and get ready for the next game.
We got to take what happened today, take what happened, even last week and correct those things and move on. We had set ourselves up as a team in a pretty good position. So we just have to finish strong no matter what happens, just keep going.
And the Raiders will be moving on, unfortunately, without their defensive coordinator in Paul Gunther. Welcome back to the show. Of course, the news of the night, the Raiders relieving the defensive coordinator, Mr. Gunther. Rod Marinelli will be taking over on an interim basis for the rest of the season. But here's the tweet the Raiders released not very long ago, saying they have relieved Paul Gunther of his duties as DC, defensive line coach. Rod Marinelli will serve as the interim defensive coordinator for the remainder of the 2020 season. EA, hate to see anybody lose their job, but why do you believe this has to happen now? A lot of rumors that maybe it was going to happen at the end of the season. But week 14.
Yeah, with 3 games ago and opportunity to be in the playoffs. The last 4 weeks, you've given up 35, 44, 28, 45 today. Just a lot of points. You can't win football games when your defense is giving up that many points. That really jeopardizes what you're doing offensively also. So again, everyone's being evaluated. And I think today was maybe the final straw for this. Of course, Gunther's been in the league a long time. Time to move on. And it'll be interesting to see if the details of the coaching philosophy and styles will change this week, being it a short week, Erin. So again, this team has to find a way to really bank themselves on something defensively that you can come to the ballpark each week and have as a positive, and we just haven't seen it. We've seen just too many mental errors, technique errors, and that has to fall on someone, and right now Gunther is felt the brunt of that.
Yeah, to your point, EA, you hate to see someone lose their job, but some things are just necessary, and everyone has to be evaluated. And this is a time to evaluate other people. This is the time to evaluate some young players, maybe some of your assistant coaches, to see how they adapt and see if they can elevate and make players better. When it comes down to it, the Raider standard is here. And somehow we have to find players and coaches who are going to meet that standard on a consistent basis. And they say, why now, week 13, it's a short week. But your whole defensive philosophy doesn't have to change. This is about having playmakers. This is about the leaders on that defense stepping up, galvanizing your entire team, and giving them the chance to make plays. I'm interested to see what happens, what leaders step up, and who's going to go out there and make plays and put the Raider brand of football on display. Yeah.
Well, no, and I think that's great. I think that's a good point that you make. Galvanize the defense and maybe offer a spark, which is what you've been trying to see this Raiders defense have week in and week out, bringing in guys like Vic Beasley, guys like Tack McKinley, hoping to spark some competition among that unit. Now, let me ask you this, EA, obviously being the defensive expert that you are and being on teams, do players feel some sense of responsibility for this?
That's a great point, E. That's a really good point. When you are a football player and you're in week 14, 15, your defensive coordinator has just been dismissed, that has to fall on you.
Yes.
That linebacker core, that defensive backfield, you really have to look at yourself hard in the mirror, particularly on film day tomorrow, and figure out why does these situations continue to happen. The lack of containment, the proper techniques are not going your way. You keep seeing these things over and over, and you have to really evaluate yourself. How can you take yourself to the next level? And again, what will change? The defenses are not really going to change. They're not going to automatically go to a bear front or an eagle front.
No.
Right.
Okay.
But maybe the voice of change, Wednesday, Thursday, the practice days, maybe the expertise in what you are practicing will change. The emphasis on certain things has to change, and that's what we're going to be really focused on seeing as far as fans are concerned What are you focusing on that's going to make a difference in these next 3 weeks?
Yeah, because you can no longer use the fact that this defense is a young defense. And you saw Coach Gruden say no excuses here. A necessary roughness penalty led to a first down. Offsides giving this offense a first down. You're seeing time and time again, this defense has given up 3 yards to the opposing offense, and you can't do that when you're a young defense like that. And you can no longer use the fact that you are a young defense as an excuse, right, guys?
Way. You have to respond. You have to respond to certain things. You have to learn. You can't keep having the same penalties, the same breakdowns as you had in week 1. You have to see progress each week as a football team and as an individual. You have to have that progress. So it's going to be fun and interesting for the entire Raider Nation to see what happens, to see what the response is and where the attention to detail comes in these last few weeks of the season.
Yeah, and like we said, it is a short week ahead as the offense is looking to put together something against that Chargers defense. We, of course, will talk about the other side of the ball and offense's performance tonight against that tough Colts defense. Stick around, Raiders Game Day. We'll be right back.
It breaks your heart. You know, you lose a game like that, it breaks your heart. You know, when you need a win against a team you're battling with for a playoff spot and you don't get it, it really rips your heart out. So it is what it is. You can't get it back. But just like this game, you know, typically, unless it's the last week of the season and that's it, you have to play another one. And in our case, we have another one on Thursday. And so I need to go. I need to get home and start preparing for that game. That's my job. It's what I have to do. And you know, you have to get ready with a good, solid Charger team that took us down to the wire last time. You know, we got to be ready to play. We got to be ready to bring it as they come to us. My preparation starts literally tonight, you know, as soon as I get out of here, and it won't stop until kickoff. And so we got a team with some all-pro players on their defense, some all-pro guys on their offense coming to town. They don't like us. We don't like them. It's a rivalry. It's the Chargers. And so it helps you get past things really quick. So I'm excited. Wish our fans could be here in the stadium with us for that one, but hopefully we'll take care of business while they watch.
Well, the Raiders certainly struggled finding the end zone consistently against that tough Colts defense. Not a lot of bright spots, but you know what? It was certainly good to see Trent Brown out there. What would you say it means to have a guy like Trent Brown blocking for you? You know Carl likes that.
Well, if you're Derek Carr, it means the world to you. You know you don't have to worry about one side of the field.
Literally, he is grown man.
It's like Hot Wheels and a monster truck.
That's right.
You know, and he plays football at a different level. You talk about imposing your will and being a dominant force.
So much confidence.
Trent is just that. He's a dominant force. Love seeing him on the field. Love the way he plays football when he's on the field. So I'm just happy to see him healthy. Happy to see him back, and it's great for the entire Raider Nation.
Well, listen, when it comes to the run game, the Raiders have not been able to surpass 90 rushing yards combined since that game against the Broncos, Week 10. So we've got 3 more games going. What would you like to see out of the offense, Ian?
Oh, Erin, easy for me. Easy for me. I want to see Waller. I mean, just take it. We all know Waller's terrific and just great.
Okay.
It's time to just focus on him. I want him lined up on the left, on the right, split as a receiver. I want to see Waller just dominate these last 3 weeks to the point where he's one of the best players in the National Football League.
Yeah.
And we need to see that over these next 3 weeks, him just dominate his opponents.
You know what, EA, I've seen Waller dominate in games. We had the huge one last week. And I want to continue seeing that. But what I want to see new out of this offense is I want to see guys getting down the field. I want to see Henry Ruggs III being used early and often. I want to see what our shiny new toy first-round draft pick can really do. Let's unleash him. We have nothing. I don't want this offense as a whole to hold anything back. Oh, look at Alec Ingold. That was a great block. But, I mean, This offense has so much potential, so many playmakers who love the game of football. An offensive guru at the head coach who's calling plays. Greg Olsen, who just loves the game. Tom Cable, who does a phenomenal job at everything he does. And this O-line is big and strong and fast. I want to see this offense just unleash everything. Just open up the playbook, hold nothing back, and just give it to everyone.
Okay, I can see that.
Let the chips fall where they fall.
When you have a guy that runs the 40, unleash the man. Here's obviously Raiders offense on the day, 67% on third down, 26 first downs, and you know why that's important? That's because every first down at home that the Raiders get, America First Credit Union will be giving Raiders Foundation $100. They had, of course, 26. That means $2,600 donated to the Raiders Foundation. You gotta love when you can give back with opportunities like that.
Those numbers offensively look pretty good. If you just saw those numbers,
you'd think you'd won.
But we have to finish. We have to finish in the red zone. That's another. We have to finish in the red zone. Put Henry Ruggs outside the numbers, unleash him, and let him go.
That's a point of emphasis.
Unleash the Kraken.
Finish.
Well, we're not done here. We still have plenty more of Raiders game day for you guys at home. On the other side of the break, we are going to show you some other scores from around the NFL. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Presented by San Manuel Casino, official Southern California casino of Allegiant Stadium.
That's Waller in motion. Carr want to throw for it, and a wide open Alec Ingold, the fullback, for the touchdown. And he's the answer to the trivia question.
Getting this award nomination is like, you show up to work every single day, and to kind of be nominated by your organization, your team, it means the world. Just kind of having those people think that about you. Being able to take a leap of faith in trying to start something new, right? I think going with the 3 Square fundraiser with teammates, not really knowing what that was looking like, and that was received well. COVID-19, food insecurities, that was one good thing. And then you go over to Adopt US Kids and you start a partnership with them, raising awareness, and that's well received. And then you do a Mindset Monday video every single Monday, and that's well received. I think being able to kind of reach out in all these different areas has been steps in the right direction, but it's obviously just a start. You have to always keep in mind of that one kid or that one person that's going to reach your message. And that's kind of been the mindset through everything, was get momentum moving forward, whatever you want to call it. I think it has to start and it has to finish with that person, that one person. That has really been the mindset. That's been the mission. That's been the message, the main message underlying everything.
You gotta love what Alec Ingold does for the community. His first day off as a rookie, he went and volunteered with 100 elementary students to teach them fitness and a healthy lifestyle. He's all about giving back to his community, and you gotta love that with the silver and black, because that's a cool priority right there. Yeah, Alec Ingold. All right, very cool indeed. Time for scores around the NFL. Let's show you what happened this week, week 14. Some things that jumped out to me. Jalen Hurts making his debut against the Eagles, beat the 10-2 Saints. I cannot believe it. 106 rushing yards for Mr. Jalen. Andy Dalton taking it to his old team, beating the Bengals. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins. The Titans beat the Jags. And the Bills beat the Steelers. Gentlemen, what stood out to you for week 14, Sel?
Like you say, Costco, I'm looking at the Eagles versus the Saints. Jalen Hurts, there was a talk all week that he's going up against the hottest defense in the league in the New Orleans Saints and Dennis Allen and that defense, and he came out and he just flat out played his game. Played passionate, loving football, got his team the ball, ran the ball when he needed to, and gave his team a chance to win, and they beat one of the hottest teams in the league.
Yeah.
That spark, that's what they wanted, and that's what they got. I'm looking at that 24-3 beatdown of the Patriots. Can we finally stick a fork in the Patriots? Let's stick the fork in the Patriots. They're done. I've been waiting to say that for almost 18 years.
All right, interesting games playing out week 14. Here's what the current playoff situation looks like for the Raiders. As you see, they are sitting at that 9 spot. Coach Gruden didn't want to talk about playoffs, but we do here, because look, they are still in it. They have a date with the 8-5 Dolphins. Not this week, of course, but the following week. That game is all important when it comes to playoff implications. And of course, the Ravens taking on the Browns. That as well has playoff implications. We will talk about that game a little bit later in the show. Even though we beat the Chargers round one short week, Bosa is back. Let's take a look at the remaining schedule for the Raiders. Who's on deck? Of course, we mentioned already week 15. Chargers here at Allegiant. Week 16 against the Dolphins. Of course, closing out the regular season on the road at Mile High against the Broncos, gentlemen. So we'll talk about the Chargers matchup a little bit later in the show. But coming up next, we've got under further review. Marcel, EA, they're chopping up some topics around the league. You're not going to want to miss it. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. You are taking a look at our Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center here in Las Vegas. We like to just call it Raiders HQ. That's where we are in our
or the crib.
studio
HQ,
here.
our home.
Erin Coscarelli, Marcel, Reece, Eric Allen back with you. All right, guys, obviously not the result we wanted, but let's take a look at maybe a silver lining here. Nelson Agholor still making big plays. One of your favorite guys, EA, and one of our best free agent signings from this offseason.
Just awesome pickup. Great route runner, able to really challenge that number one receiver at times. Seems like he's always given Derek an opportunity for a big play. A couple weeks ago, that middle route where he almost caught it, end up winning. But again, he's just so money in critical situations. You love an experienced receiver to get it done.
For his whole career, EA, you always knew he was athletic. You knew he could go out there and make some big plays. But one thing I learned about him when he came over to us is he is a smart football player. He knows how to find the open zone, the open space, throttle down when he needs to, use his speed in great spots. And like you said, great route runner. He ran that out and up today with, superb efficiency. And he goes up strong for the ball. I love what he's done for us. He's made huge plays week in and week out.
Yeah, this is a guy that needs to go to the Pro Bowl. Of course, you can vote. But there are his stats so far. Look, last year and the year before, that is his total combined total in touchdown receptions that he has this year. 7 touchdown receptions you see right there. That is tied for most touchdown receptions on the silver and black, of course, tied with Darren Waller. But this is 16.7 yards per reception.
Yes. Hey,
let me ask
Nelly's
you
balling.
this real quick. Nelly is balling. Why do you think he excels so well with Derek Carr? Like, why this year has he done such an excellent job connecting with Carr?
Well, I think because his slot and what he was supposed to do. He came in here as the number 3 receiver, so really no pressure. He was just in to kind of make sure the room kind of matured a little faster than maybe the younger guys were going to be accustomed to doing. I think he came in, found that great rhythm in the offense. It's a timing type of rhythm, which he ran a lot at USC. So again, he's used to running great routes, and as long as you run great routes, a quarterback like Derek with that great accuracy and the way he's playing, they're going to have a great combination.
When you're a good route runner, to EA's point, you can play in any system. And when you couple that with an extremely accurate quarterback, you have a great marriage there. And DC is a smart quarterback with a smart veteran receiver and a phenomenal running back behind you. He's going to get a lot of single coverage. So when you're a great route runner with awesome running game and a big offensive line, you can have patience when you run those routes.
Yeah.
So he's at his highest efficiency when he's running those routes and lulling people to sleep and just creating separation. So I have been extremely excited and proud of the work that he's done all year.
One of the best free agent signings for the Silver and Black. Get him to the Pro Bowl, you guys. All right, it is time for Under Further Review. I throw out a topic, you guys discuss, and you know what? We played Phillip Rivers today. He is just notorious for being a trash talker. PG, of course, it's always family friendly, but it made us kind of think, who is your most memorable trash talker you played with or against, Marcel?
Let's see, playing with, I play with a lot. Richard Sherman comes to mind.
Okay.
He's a really good trash talker. Michael Crabtree here with the Raiders was a supreme trash talker, but playing against James Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
His trash talk is elite.
Right.
Debo trash talk is elite.
Well,
Okay,
who I played with was Jerome Brown, and he's from University of Miami, and he brought that same swagger to the Philadelphia Eagles. But playing against was Sterling Sharp, Shannon's older brother. And he would be on the football field calling out defenses, saying that I couldn't guard him. I mean, we're in the middle of the play. Come and get some, E. So Sterling was just a great trash talker, great player, always up there in Green Bay kind of handling his business.
So when you play against trash talkers, did it always elevate your game a little bit?
No, because I never really talked a lot. I would just tell the guy, hey, let's play a good game, man. You know, I mean, I got a pick. You ran the wrong route, but I would talk to him in that way.
Oh, so you're out there trying to get the sportsmanship award.
Oh, yeah, sportsmanship award, yeah.
Right. Who is the offense a bigger trash talker or the defense, typically? Or is it just
I think it's changed.
Okay.
Since the rules have changed about hitting, I think the receivers have really come out of their shell. Now, before, when we used to be able to, you know, when the receivers came across the middle, I kind of light them up a little bit. They didn't talk a lot of smack.
That's so funny.
But yeah.
My most memorable would be a receiver, Steve Smith Sr.
Oh, yeah.
Smitty.
I love that one.
Smitty's a talker.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Quick turnaround for the Raiders this week. Of course, having the game Thursday Night Football. You know, it made us kind of think, for you guys, as a player, do you like the quick turnaround? How does that impact your recovery and your week of preparation?
I thought it was a good change up to the week because it turns from physical to mental the entire week.
Okay.
You're not running a ton. You get a little recovery lift in, but everything goes to mental. You're getting mental reps, walkthrough reps, watching a ton of film. It just elevates your preparation, your film preparation for the team. And especially when you've already played the team once, you go back to the film, see what you did well, see what you didn't do well on, and then you're just able to correct those mistakes. Seeing how that team has changed, that's where you implement a lot of your new prep.
Yeah, what if you're flying across country to play on a short week? It's just crazy. So athletically and physically, it is just totally difficult to get prepared for a short week, particularly if you're an older player. So again, if you're a younger player, you know, who cares? You just put in film study, you go out there and play. But if you're an older player, it's very difficult to get out of the ice tub. Your body's accustomed to playing at certain points, right? And your routine is kind of messed up. So maybe you study on Tuesday where you have to interrupt that and maybe start studying after the Sunday night game. So it is really difficult for an older player physically, for sure.
Well, that leads me, okay, what's more difficult, recovery or the week of preparation?
For me, it was recovery. I need my rest. I need to sleep. I need that beauty sleep, Erin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it still comes down to recovery.
Sure, yeah. Well, and that's important. Of course, you're missing out on a couple of days that are important.
Yeah.
All right. Look, next segment we're going to talk, of course, goes to the post, which obviously is the nickname for the great tight end Dave Casper. Made us wonder, for you guys, did you play against anybody that had a cool nickname? Against or with anyone?
Well, no.
Do you have a favorite nickname for a player that comes to mind?
Well, Lester Hayes, the judge. Because he dictated, shut him down. You know, all that great poster of him, that mural in Los Angeles when they were the Los Angeles Raiders, where he was just kind of over the freeway. Just a great nickname for.
When I think of great nickname, it's never, as a competitor, you never call your opponent by his nickname. Like, he didn't earn that from me. But when I think of great nicknames, I think the greatest nickname you got, I mean, Dr. Death for George Atkinson, but the Assassin for Jack Tatum is an iconic nickname.
Right.
And he's one of those guys that just lived up to it every single day. So I love that nickname.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite nickname, one of my favorites, Sugar Ray Leonard, was my brother's favorite boxer. I like that nickname. Prime is a good one, too.
Prime is a good one.
Prime.
How about Yoda?
There's so many.
How about Yoda?
Matchup Nightmare, Yoda. All right, when we come back, a history lesson. We're going to go that goes to the post. Stick around. We'll be right back. Impact Team of the Week is the Little Pirates. The team brings together of 7- and 8-year-olds from all over the Las Vegas Valley. The Little Pirates happily rep jerseys donated to them by the Las Vegas Raiders. Congrats, you guys, on being named the Intermountain Healthcare Impact Team of the Week. How cool indeed. All right, December 24th, 1977. The Oakland Raiders and the then Baltimore Colts collided in what would go down in history as one of the most exciting and memorable games in professional football. In an AFC divisional playoff game at the Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, the Raiders and the Colts slugged it out for nearly 4 hours. The contest would be decided in double overtime and would forever be remembered for one critical play, the ghost to the post.
The ghost to the post, that was against the Baltimore Colts in Baltimore in a playoff game. It was one of the great playoff games of all time.
Kenny Stabler could bring out every ounce of quality out of a receiver, especially a guy who was as talented as Dave. Dave's talent was fearless and could catch.
They started to sneak their safety up to jump the end on Fred coming on the end, and Tom Flores was upstairs, and he said, just check on 99 in, just check ghost to the post.
But in this particular play, all they told Snake was look for ghost to the post, because they called me ghost, and I always ran a post pattern on that play.
Back again, straight drop back, pumps once, he goes medium deep to Casper. Casper makes an over-the-shoulder catch. He's caught from behind at the 15-yard line. A very, very remarkable adjustment as Casper, I think, first turned the wrong way and managed to run under that high lob to the deep part of the defense.
But I can still remember turning around and watching Ghost going to the post, and all I could see is his hands above his head like this. And that ball, it was the most amazing catch I've ever seen in my 13 years of professional football.
That play, I had probably one of the most perfect vantage points that anybody could have had. And that was just so perfect.
Oh my God, Ghost to the post. That's what I call him. I don't call him Dave, I call him Ghost to the post. A long first name, but I call him that.
We were in the sixth period when playoffs is true sudden death. And it had been back and forth, passing, running, kicking, just a great game. We called a play and we wanted to take a shot in the end zone.
Play fake by Stabler, back to pass, goes to the end zone, Casper, touchdown Raiders!
I knew we won the game when I caught the ball.
The final score, Oakland 37 and Baltimore 31.
It was just one of those things that, and when you're really psyched at the time, that you can do certain things that normally you couldn't do.
Gotta love the old throwback NFL films, 1977. This game included 68 points, 9 lead changes, and only took 76 minutes to settle.
It's a long football game. Yeah.
Yes, that is.
But
yes,
it's cool to see the throwback because I think the Raiders known for their tight end lineage, right?
Yes, for sure.
Indeed, they have had some great ones, as you can see, Raymond Chester, Dave. I mean, who for you guys are your standouts there?
Well, I love Dave Casper, and after that game, there's plenty of guys in the street trying to make that catch over. It's like, no, throw it over my head so I can catch it that way. Dave Casper, one of my favorites, definitely.
Yeah, Raymond Chester, though. I love Raymond Chester and Todd Christensen. I played with Zach Miller, who was a phenomenal tight. He was just that all-around modern-day tight end, blocking in the run game, pass protection, and making huge plays in the pass game. So
great history
Zach
there,
was a great dude.
No doubt Al Davis loved the tight end position. And maybe shortly thereafter, Darren Waller might be next on that list because, right? He's next.
Especially when he starts to blow up these last 3 weeks.
Like next in line, getting Jason Witten to be in there. I mean, the sky is his potential because he hasn't even reached his fullest yet.
You're right.
So. All right, coming up next, a short week for the Silver and Black as they battle it out against the Chargers. We're talking about it next.
Eckler they put in motion. A couple of running backs in there. Belias takes the fake. Herbert throws into the end zone. It's Allen. He's got it for the touchdown.
All right, we show you that highlight because that is who the Raiders are taking on next week. Thursday night football against the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers. But Austin Eckler had himself a game, 24 touches, 146 yards. For you guys, when you think of the Chargers, we beat them last time, but what comes to mind, Marcel, offensively?
Just still don't like them. Let's go play Raider football. Let's play hard-nosed football. You have our big tackle back. We are getting our running back back. We still have fast receivers. Let's just go play a Raider brand of football. Focus on us. Let everyone else do whatever they do. Let's just win games, let the chips fall where they fall, and beat up on the Chargers, just like we always do.
I think for us and all the fans, we're going to be interested to see what happens defensively, what the focal point will be this week, because you're going to dust off that old game plan from last time with the Chargers, and you're trying to figure out a way to kind of blend the coaching style and the coaching differences from Marinelli to Gunther. So again, defensively, there has to be some kind of breakout player. There needs to be a splash on defense. And else, why did you make the move? If there's not going to be a splash, not going to be a coaching style change and what you're talking about during the week. So I'm very interested in seeing kind of what the emphasis is going to be on this defense.
And they're going to need to figure it out fast because Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, who I believe was not available on that final drive, may actually have suffered a hamstring injury. But in the event Keenan Allen is available, Mike Williams, of course, Austin Eckler, as we mentioned. That Chargers offense is scary.
They are.
And let's switch gears and talk defense. Joey Bosa was not available the first time, but this man is going to be there week 15.
Yeah, dominant force.
What it comes down to, for us, is when you're playing football, you can do things on purpose or you could do things with purpose. It's a short week. You're going against a rival. You have to win out the rest of your games. Everything has to be done with purpose and for a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we close out Week 14, we actually have a Monday Night Football matchup between NFL's top 2 rushing offenses led by Lamar Jackson and Nick Chubb. The Ravens blew out the Browns Week 1, but this is a different Cleveland team. What happened, EA? A very different
I'll
Cleveland
let you guys kind of.
What happened, EA?
Now we're all tied up.
I know you better than that.
I wanted to make it interesting.
I know you better than that.
I am going to go with the Browns, who are on a 4-game winning streak. I say this matchup goes the Browns' way. Plus, we also want them.
Browns on a 4-game winning streak, but I am going with the Ravens this week.
The Ravens.
You're going with the Ravens.
Offensively are not being able to run the football. I'm going with the Browns with Aaron.
Thank you.
We'll see you
also,
later.
This is the
we'll see you later.
This is the week that I go up. Okay.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see you later. Okay.
That's right.
Well, guys, short week ahead, and as we leave, we would like to take a moment to honor Raiders Tom Louderback, an original member of the 1960 Raiders team. Prayers of the entire Raider Nation are with Sonia and the Louderback family at this time.
Oakland was the place to go for me. I played as a linebacker. Being part of the Raider family, it means everything. Having made the choice to become a Raider, not knowing ever that we would be here today. But looking back at what the Raiders have accomplished, the fact that I was a part of that, great pride. But once you're a Raider, you are a Raider.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Brought to you by Modelo, setting the gold standard for authentic Mexican beer since 1925. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Raiders. Twitch, the official live streaming partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.